Welcome to an introduction to mystery shopping. Here we will cover the principle of mystery shopping in a simple and accessible way. We will also explore its practical application through an example. To share our learning, we've designed our mystery shopping toolkit so that other organizations and services can use these methods in a safe and appropriate manner to better understand their own service and enable positive change. This toolkit is available to all on our website for free. Let's begin by looking into what we mean by mystery shopping. Mystery shopping is an approach used in market research to understand and evaluate the quality of the customer experience. At Fulfilling Lives Southeast Partnership, we've used mystery shopping activities to gain real insights into service user experiences. So where can mystery shopping activities be conducted? Services include local authorities, housing departments, supported accommodation, substance misuse services, GP surgeries, and advice centers. Through mystery shopping activities, a person with lived experiences of multiple complex needs will visit a service to identify any gaps or barriers that users of the service may be facing, as well as what works well. The learning from mystery shopping can highlight the strengths of a service and pick up on issues that require some relatively quick and easy improvements. It may also uncover more complex systemic issues that will require careful consideration if they are to be addressed appropriately. To observe, to evaluate, and to recommend changes. This is the very essence of mystery shopping. Now let's look at why mystery shopping is a valuable tool. Services may not always be able to consider the perspective of someone with multiple complex needs. For example, requiring someone to fill out complex forms can affect how someone with multiple complex needs feels about the service, or expecting someone to keep retelling their story to multiple professionals can lead to re-traumatizing the service user. Secondly, people with multiple complex needs sometimes experience stigma from staff due to assumptions made about their presentation. Even with good intentions, the way that support is offered can result in poor outcomes for the person who needs the service. This is where mystery shopping is helpful by giving us a clear perspective on those elements that may have gone unnoticed within the environment. Now let's look at what the process of mystery shopping looks like. We start with the initial planning phase, which includes recruiting mystery shoppers, support, and training. This is followed by the mystery shopping visit. Then, debriefing and identifying recommendations or actions in light of the findings. And finally, reviewing and follow-up visits to the service to see if changes have been made. Mystery shopping requires considerable time. Planning can take up to 75% of the time dedicated to the activity. The visit requires about 5%, and the follow-up may take about 20% of the estimated time. Now let's look at some of the things to consider. It's important to note that mystery shopping activities should be carried out by invitation only and at the request of a service or organization with their full permission. Mystery shopping is for the purposes of learning and development only and not to expose services or individual employees to criticism. The main goal of mystery shopping is to identify gaps between an organization's stated standards and what happens in reality, as well as offering recommendations. These could include a variety of solutions such as training for staff, changes to the space where information is given, and better signposting, to name a few. We will now hear an example from a former volunteer to demonstrate and better understand the practical application of mystery shopping.
I was a volunteer at Fulfilling Lives Southeast. I was actively participating in the action groups created to co-produce service improvements and system change activities. In a meeting with managers of a housing department in Brighton, we were discussing the quality of the service, and our team offered to conduct an undercover mystery shopping with the aim of evaluating the physical environment of the service as well as the interactions between the staff and the customers with multiple and complex needs. From the very beginning, the objectives and parameters of the assessment that we were going to do were explained clearly to us. For instance, we were not meant to evaluate if the staff followed appropriate housing policies. It was more about how they interacted with us. Hence, we thought that having previous experience of using a housing service would be useful for us. We were asked if our current personal circumstances allowed us to undertake the work and stay well. The organisers were clear about what taking part would involve and what would happen with the information shoppers gathered. More information on the planning stages of the exercise before the visit can be accessed in the toolkit document. Next, the mystery shopping team got together to co-produce a list of scenarios that were going to be played out. The preparation phase was one of the longest and most important part of the process. The scenarios we chose included presentations of customers who were experiencing domestic abuse or who were homeless or at risk of homelessness, or experiencing mental ill health in order to test how the service responded and supported people in these circumstances. We worked on the scenarios for a few weeks, making sure everyone felt comfortable about the role we were playing. Revisiting a service has the potential to trigger unexpected thoughts and feelings and has the capacity to re-traumatise people. Hence our safety as undercover shoppers was very important. There were certain things that were put in place to ensure the physical and emotional safety of the individual shoppers. For example, we were given the option to script and role-play our actual personal experiences or choose scenarios which were fictionalised. We were given the option to opt out with short notice without fear of letting anyone down. The team was large enough to ensure that if some of us dropped out, there would be enough people to carry out the activity. We set up several practice sessions and talked through every eventuality. This encouraged us to be safe and comfortable. Before planning the visit, those in charge of organising the activities provided us with guidance to work around the safe application of our own lived experiences through the work. We were provided assessment tools to evaluate the service, which included questions on feeling adequately guided while interacting with the staff, feeling listened to and receiving adequate attention, evaluating whether our conversations were private and confidential, and whether the waiting times were too long. Also, if our story was accepted without judgment, and picking up on non-verbal cues to discern whether the staff were open and friendly, as well as whether we were appropriately signposted during the interactions. These tools can be used by anyone or modified to suit your aims and needs. On the day of the mystery shopping, one person from the team was coordinating and providing support and assurance to us throughout the day. Our travel was paid for and we received refreshments and lunch, which was a nice gesture. We were asked to note both critical and positive aspects of the mystery shop. We were briefed about what to expect once we entered the service building. We also agreed on an exit plan if things were to go wrong. The visit duration varied from 2 to 10 minutes depending on what role we were playing and how we were being served by the staff. After the visit, we had the opportunity to debrief and discuss how the process was and whether we needed any additional signposting in case it affected us negatively, for example, accessing mental health support. Then, we completed the feedback forms based on our experience and impressions of the physical space and the interactions with the staff. The feedback form and crib sheets can be found in the toolkit. Our feedback was collated into a report which highlighted several recommendations that would help improve the service. One of the recommendations was around staff receiving training on trauma-informed practice when working with people with multiple complex needs and the need for psychologically informed environments as well as appropriate signposting. Then we designed and delivered the training in collaboration with a notable therapist. We planned a follow-up visit to assess how the service has improved as a result of our recommendations. However, due to the COVID pandemic, we have not been able to do this yet. We hope you found this video informative. Please download the Mystery Shopping Toolkit for more information.